Welcome everyone to the Excitech BIM 360 surgery. This is surgery number 4. And today we're going to look at the recently launched Office 365 integration. So last week BIM 360 announced the update to the whole environment where we can view, edit and review Microsoft Office files. So I'm in a pretty much a blank project. And I've got a quick data set created with some sample Office files. Now, I've read through the release notes, so I know exactly what's going to work and what hasn't. But just for clarity, I've got a Microsoft Access file, I've got an Excel file, I've got a Publisher, PowerPoint, Word, and a Visio. So what I'm going to do is to copy all, create a new folder. And I'm just going to call it Office Test Files. Double click into the folder, and then I'm just going to go Control V, and that will quickly put the files into 360. So then I jump down and go to the environment and just refresh my screen, and my files should slowly start to come through. Here we are. So you can see I've got my new folder and the files are starting to upload. So each time I refresh, they will update. So I've got 6 different file types and we're going to run through and see what we have. So first things first, the file types that work. You will see the access file. It has stored it in 360. But I do not have a hyperlink. So you'll see when I move down onto the Excel file will hyperlink. So first off, an access file does not currently work with the document. You will see the Excel file is good. The Publisher file, again, that does not work. The Word document and the Visio sample, and my PowerPoint's just a little bit larger. I think it's about 15 megabytes, so it's just taking a little second to come through. But let's start looking at the way that this works. So it's integrated across the platform, so as soon as I click the hyperlink, it will open. You will see that it's came up and it has version date number 1. So when I click the file, just simple left click, it opens in Excel Online. Now I'm already signed in to my 365 online account. If you're not signed in, it will prompt you to sign in. And then you get access to here. So you can see here at the top we have version 1 and the sets are pretty standard stuff. We've got our close button and then we have our share and download source file. So I can see here that I can review the file. I can click into each individual cell, but you'll see at the top it's currently in a read-only mode. So if I want to start editing, I simply click Edit in Browser, and then it opens up in Excel Online but in the editing mode. So the only difference now is you'll see at the top under File, you don't really have the open menu. You've just got the breadcrumbs as to where the file is. You've got BIM 360 where you can navigate back to 360, or you can simply return to the previous screen, and then we can just edit as normal. So what I'll do is I'll just make a couple of quick changes quickly in Excel. Let's say change the color of that, copy the instance to there, and we say that's going to be bold, and let's say the text is going to be blue. So just make some standard changes. I can again just copy that down. So I've made some properties, changed some text and font around, and then you will see that it's constantly saving the file. So I'm going to click return, and that will return me back to edit in browser, make some changes, it then updates. So as we previously mentioned, the Publisher file again will not open but can be stored. If we look at the PowerPoint file, just click into it, again the same principle. So it opens up in PowerPoint Online, and you will see that it animates as well, and I can click Edit in Browser and then back into the same situation where I can make some changes to the file, and I can say stuff like put a title in, let's say something like that, and then I can click return, and the same instance will happen again, that it will update, or in theory update the version, and then I can just close it down, and then I'm back into here. If we look at the Word document, again we click in, it opens up the same principle where I've got a Word document, and if I edit in the browser, you will see that it comes in to the online platform where I can make some changes. You can see that you've got a header and a footer option, so if I want to edit the header, I can click it and I can add stuff. So let's say this is a BIM 360 training, click out of it, bam, bam, bam. You can scroll down, and then the same principle if we return back. Again, we have our files, and you will see it's now updated to version 2. And again, we've got a Visio. So if we click into the Visio platform, the same principle will exist. So one of the other things that we can also start to do is that it also brings in the ability for multiple people to edit the components or the documents at the same time. So if I click, let's say, into the Excel file, you will see I get the same principle where I can come in and start editing, click edit in browser, and you will see that we're back to where we were before. Now, what I've done at the same time is I've started an Incognito window with the same I'm already logged into BIM 360, but I'm logged in under a different user, which is just my Gmail address. So if I navigate to the same project, so if I want to co-author and work on this at the same time, let's have a look and see how this can potentially work. So if I click into the Office test files, the first thing that you will see is that there is a little lock symbol. So this is locked because I'm working on the file at the same time, but it will allow me to access it. So I'm going to put these on the same screen, so I've just split them in half. So I'm logged in under my Gmail here, and I'm going to click in, I'm going to look at the same file, and I'm going to edit in browser. So this should allow me to click in, and I've got both files opening side by side, and you'll see as I'm logged in on the right, you will see that it tells me that someone else, indeed myself, is also editing. So in theory, if I click and change something on the right hand side, I would expect that the document on the left will also update as we're co-authoring. So let's say I select these, I make some changes, and we fill the cell, let's say yellow, and you'll see it's pretty instant that the option is working via 360, but obviously we're co-authoring between, and you'll see that is pretty nifty and neat the way that it works. And then if I want to come out of it, I simply hit return, and that will take me back to the environment. And then if I do the same here, so I can close down on the right and then go back to 365, and if I maximize this, you will see now the document has went to version 3. And if we click version, if we click in here, you can see that we can do the usual where we can download the source files, review transmittals. So I'm just going to let that quickly update. So it's just spooling as it's updating all the changes to the documents. So as we're doing this, it will also obviously track the versions that we are changing. So if we, let's say, look at the Word document while the Excel is updating, you'll see that I get my same principle where I've got my two versions. You can see you've got your standard stuff where you can use your translation, all this type of stuff. If we come out of this, So you've got the same principles that we have as before, so we can lock, share, we can move, delete, edit, and we can update. And I'll just refresh the page. Get everything to update. So there we have it. We've got all the files updated. If we click in under the version history under the Excel file, you will see that it's currently made this document current. You've got options in here to copy and then to download, but you can also step back through the versions. So I can click into this version, you can see that I can copy it, download, and you've got this little button that I can actually make these back to the current version. So if I want my version 2 to step back, I can say make current, and it'll obviously warn you, are you sure you want to restore it? If I go restore, that will then, you'll see version 2 will still remain, but then it will process in, so it's version 1, 2, 3, and then it goes to version 2. So quite a lot of useful features there where we can restore, change, and move versions. So that's pretty much it for the 365. You'll see that your major file types, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and Visio, all work, all version control, and it all allow you to co-edit and co-author. And as we're doing that, then that updates and changes. You'll just see that the Excel file is processing, but it's immediately put it down to version 2. If we select the Word document, you can see you get the same principle where I can switch between the versions. So that is the 365 integration. It's all live in your systems. So if you've got files there that can be accessed and edited, just simply select them, edit in browser, and basically away you go. So that's it for the surgery number 4. So pretty quick and simple. Hopefully you've seen some insight into how it works, and join me again next week when we have our surgery number 5.